This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, so let's connect to the server and see what exactly we have done in our last session. So we already created, or we first of all, we activated the cost center accounting and profit center accounting for our controlling area. And then we created some of the profit centers, okay, within our controlling area. But we were not able to create the cost centers last time. Okay, so let's first see which are the profit centers that we created. So if I go to transaction KE53, okay, we can go from here, accounting, controlling, profit center accounting, master data, profit center, individual processing, and this one. So display the profit center, we will go to transaction KE53. Okay, and our controlling area was ABCS. So within ABCS, let's see how many profit centers are created already. I'll go with this profit center in company code, and company code was ABCS. Okay, so these are the three profit centers that we have created: desktop, laptop, and service. Let's go and see our structure, which we finalized in terms of the cost centers and profit centers. So we discussed that in our hierarchy, okay, there would be three different groups. Okay, number one is Bangalore unit, which is into manufacturing of desktops. Okay, then you have Mumbai plant, which is into manufacturing of laptops. And again, within Mumbai, we have another unit, which is for service. So these are our three, we can say these are our three profit centers, which are generating the profit. Now, within each and every profit center, okay, within each and every plant, we can have multiple departments. We can have different cost centers, right? So these things we need to create as cost center. Okay, now whenever you are creating the cost center, as I told you, the cost center is created under the particular node, same as profit center. Okay, so this is called as hierarchy. So if you remember, we already created a cost center hierarchy when we created the controlling area. Let me show you. So if you go to controlling area, which is transaction OKKP, okay, when we created controlling area ABCS, system has asked us what would be your cost center standard hierarchy. Okay, during that time, we just provided the same code as of our controlling area. Okay, but whenever we tried to save this, system asked us that this cost center standard hierarchy does not exist. Do you want to create? We said yes, we want to create. And that is the reason if I show you the cost center hierarchy, you'll be able to see that this hierarchy is already created. This is the top node within the hierarchy. Okay, so how can I see that? So let's come out, go to accounting, controlling, cost center accounting, master data, okay, and cost center groups. I can go to the cost center groups or I can go to the standard hierarchy. Let's go to the standard hierarchy. So within standard hierarchy, I don't need to, like there are two options, change or display. So if I want to make some changes to my standard hierarchy, I'll click on change. If I just want to display, I can click on this OKENN. Okay, let's double click on change because we want to add some groups. Okay, so you can see within our standard hierarchy, no, sorry, this is not our hierarchy. Our hierarchy is ABCS. So let me change this to set controlling area, and our controlling area is ABCS. Yeah, you can see within ABCS, there are no further nodes which are created. Okay, which nodes we want? See, these are the nodes we want. We want to divide our ABCS standard hierarchy into three nodes. Number one is Bangalore desktops, Mumbai laptops, and Mumbai after sales service. So this would be the three nodes. Under each node, we will be having different cost centers. Okay, so before we create any cost center, we need to create these three nodes. Okay, and how are we going to do that? Again, we will just go to standard hierarchy, and here within this same node, or within the one node below this level, we need to create 3 separate nodes. So create lower level groups. Okay, number 1 would be again desktops. Name we can give full name, which includes the plant and the product for which this plant is responsible. Okay, so this is a group 1. Same way, we need to create another group on the same level. Okay, same as desktop level. So this is going to be laptops. Okay, and this is going to be under Mumbai plant and laptop. Okay, same way, last one is going to be group at same level. This is going to be service. Okay, which is again going to be done at this plant. Okay, so this is how we created 3 different groups within the main cost center standard hierarchy. So this is our cost center standard hierarchy, which consists of different groups. Okay, so in this particular example that we are seeing, we are creating only one level of the groupings. Okay, we are not creating multiple levels. If it is required by the company, you can under desktop also you can create a group. Again, under that particular group you can create a group. So this hierarchy can be having multiple levels based on the requirements of the customer. Okay, so you can keep on creating the hierarchy as long it is required. Okay, so in our example we are taking only one level, but it can have multiple levels. Okay, and then now our groups are ready. What we need to do is we need to create all these cost centers now. Okay, some of the cost centers we need to create at the common level. Okay, common means they are not restricted to this particular groups. The common HR and all we need to create at this level, not at this level. Okay, but within each and every plant, there are plant specific cost centers which we need to create within that particular group. Okay, so cost center can have up to 10 digits. Whenever you are creating a cost center, if you want to provide the code to the cost center can have up to 10 digits. Now the logic, how are you going to give the 10 digits to your cost centers? This logic needs to be discussed with the business and accordingly it needs to arrange. So in this example, let's say my first 4 characters are ABCS, which tells the it is a company. My next 4 or next 3 characters are COM, which stands for common, and then remaining 3 characters are, let's say this is HR1. Okay, so looking at the code itself, I can easily say that this is the cost center which belongs to the common plant. It is not related to the plant. This is common, and this within the common, this belongs to HR. Okay, same way, I can just copy this and keep on giving the codes here. So this is again common, but instead of HR, I will say this is admin, ADM or ADM1, whatever I want. Up to 10 characters. You cannot have the cost centers for more than 10 characters. Okay, and it is also not necessary that you need the cost center for 10 characters only. It totally depends how many characters you want. Okay, as a customer. Same way, this would be ABCS, COM, and IT1. Okay, so we can keep on creating this based on the logic. Okay, so what about this cost centers which will belong under the desktop? So we will give this coding, which is again ABCS. Within ABCS, this is desktop, so DES, and then AD1. Okay, so this way we can keep on providing the codes to the cost centers. Okay, let's try to create this cost centers now in the system. So I will come out of the standard hierarchy, although I can create the cost centers from here also, but let's create the cost center from the cost center master data screen. Okay, which is under this cost center node, and the transaction code is KS01. Right? So first cost center which I want to create is ABCS under the common node. Okay, and this is, let's say, for HR. So HR1, 10 characters. Whenever you are creating the cost center, system will ask you the validity of this cost center. This is an important field. So validity means whatever validity you provide, you will be able to post in this particular cost center only if the posting date belongs to this validity period. Okay, so for example, if I'm creating this from 1st of Jan 2019, definitely I'll not be able to post anything in this cost center before 2019. Okay, I cannot post anything to this cost center in 2018, 2017. Mistakenly, there are many cases when you are practicing, you are creating from today's date. Okay, so for example, let's say instead of 0101, you created this from 23rd of November 2019. Okay, so in that particular case, if you try to post any transaction, even the previous date for the tomorrow's date, for the yesterday's date also, system will definitely throw error because this cost center is only available from today onwards. Okay, so it is normally we provide this 0101 2019. Okay, just press enter. System will take you to the more detailed screen. So here you need to
So
enter
can
the
we
next.
change? So can we change the dates after that?
Once it is created, then
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, we can.
Yes.
It is not called as changing the date. You can create the second validity period.
Okay. Okay.
So whatever you have entered here, this is valid for this validity period. But if I want, let's say for example, due to some reason, I want to create this cost center also in 2008. Okay. So once I created in 2019, later on I realized that I want this cost center to be available in 2018 also. So in that case, what I can do is I can create a second validity period for this cost center.
Okay. In the same screen itself, we can make, right?
Yes, yes. I'll show you. Once I complete this, I'll show you.
Yeah. Sure, sir.
Yeah. So I'll give this name as common HR. Okay. So this is a common HR cost center. You can give the description. Okay. Normally it is same, but if you have more characters, you can provide it here. User responsible. If you the person who is responsible for this cost center, okay, so normally the head of the particular department, let's say HR, HOD, he will be responsible for whatever cost has been incurred in this particular cost center. So what you can do is you can enter the user ID, SAP user ID of that person, HOD here itself, or you can just write the name here in the person responsible column. So same as the profit center, we will just enter manager here. But if you know the name of the person, you need to specify it here after confirming from the business. Okay, then you have cost center category. SAP provides some standard cost center categories. If I do F4, these are all the standard cost center categories which are provided by SAP. Okay, so whichever is suitable. Okay, so for example, if I am creating the cost center for HR, so development is definitely not the task within HR. Production, no. Logistics, no. Even not service cost center. So it can be management or it can be administration, right? So whichever is most relevant, just double click on that and select it. But I'll tell you what exactly is the purpose of this cost center category. But let's first create the cost center. Then we will see where exactly this is configured and what is the purpose of this cost center category.
If those cost centers already in the productivity systems, and there is already transaction is happening, and sometimes we got the requirement that we wanted to change the cost center category or like hierarchy. Is it possible to change?
Yes. So the question is, once the cost centers are created and you already made the postings, after that, if there is a requirement that you want to change, I will talk about 2 points. Number one, if you want to change the cost center hierarchy, okay, if you want to change the group, that is provided you have whatever transactions you have done previously, those will not be stored in the historical data. They will also move to the new hierarchy. Okay, so for example, till now this cost center was belong to common. Okay, you have made the postings, they are available in common, but as soon as you change the cost center group, even the old transactions will move to the new hierarchy. So that is one restriction. Number two is normally category has nothing to do with normally no company will come and ask you to change the category, because I'll tell you what is the purpose of category. Based on that, you will know okay, there is no need to change the category at least. Okay, I'll talk about that. So coming to the hierarchy area. Now in our hierarchy, we have 4 groups. Okay, which are the 4 groups? The top node is ABCS. Within ABCS, we have one for desktop, one for laptop, and one for service. Right, so this particular we are creating for common, which means you will be selecting this top node. Okay, and then you will be you will be entering the currency. Whatever is your currency of that particular cost center, you will just enter here. And then finally, you will be entering the profit center. Okay, so why we are entering the profit center? Which means whenever you are doing the transaction, whenever you are making any postings to this HR cost center, we also want the system to generate the profitability reports that this particular expense belongs to this particular profit center. So if you do F4, enter, why it is not showing? We created the profit centers, right? Yeah, controlling area ABCS. So these are the 3 profit centers that we have. Profit center, we have desktop, laptop, and service. Okay, so this particular one, can you tell me where exactly I need to post this? Is it related to desktop? Is it related to laptop? Or is it related to service? The cost center that we are creating at what level? This is for common.
Group level, right, Vikram?
Sorry, Sneha?
At group level?
At group level, we are creating at the common level.
At the
Okay,
top
so
node.
yeah, if you see this hierarchy, we have this node. First of all, this is the top node within ABCS. We are creating this common cost centers under the ABCS. And then we have this groupings. So we have the separate cost centers for desktop, laptop, and service. Okay, so which means this particular cost center that we are creating, this is not going to be fit in any of these areas. So what should we do? We also have to create one common profit center. Okay, we have to create one common profit center for booking the common cost. Okay, so what you will do is we will again go to transaction KE51. Okay, we will create one COMMON common for ABCS. Press enter. Just provide the name also as common. Person responsible, again I will just keep as manager. And profit center group, we only have one top level node, which is ABCS for the common profit center. Okay, and when it is profit center, not only save, you have to activate also. So just click on activate. If you are getting this warning, just ignore, press enter, another enter, and your profit center common has been created. Okay, which means now if I go again back to the cost center, if I do F4 here, system should show me common profit center also. You can see this. Okay, so let's double click and save. Okay, let's again go to the cost center that we created to see what are the other tabs. Okay, so in the basic data, we have name, we have description. User responsible is the SAP user if you want to assign to this particular cost center. Person responsible, department is text field. You can enter whatever department you want to write. So in this case, it is HR. It will not make any difference. This is just text field. Cost center category, I told you, whenever you are selecting the cost center category, it should resemble to what exactly you are creating. So if I'm creating HR, so you need to find out which is most relevant to HR. But what is the purpose of this cost center category? Okay, cost center category controls this tab, control tab. Okay, so you can see in the control tab, there are various different ticks. So record the quantity. Okay, record quantity means normally in controlling, it is all about cost. But if you also want to record the quantity, there is a quantity field. Let's say you are purchasing 10 units. So if you not only want to capture the value, you also want to capture the quantity. Okay, so let's say most of the postings which comes to controlling comes from the sales. So whenever you are creating the sales order, In the sales order, you have material and you have quantity. So if you want to capture the quantity field also, then you have to tick on this indicator. Okay. Same way, there are different logs. So what are the different postings that we make in the cost centers? We can make the primary postings which are coming from FI. This can be actual and this can be planned. So we can plan for this cost center. We can book the actual postings for this cost center. Similarly, we can post the actual secondary postings through allocations, distributions, assessments. We can also post the secondary postings as a planned value, right? The planning figures. So in short, in this cost center, we are able to post the cost, okay, because this indicator is not ticked. This means we are okay to go ahead and post the primary postings as well as secondary postings. That too planned as well as actuals.
This is what my question in basic data. If the requirement was that already it is selected N and it is selected here as a record quantity only for actual primary cost.
Right.
And we wanted to change the cost center category and that it should post to only the planned primary cost.
In that case, okay, let me come to that point. So first of all, based on this cost center category, these indicators are coming by default. Okay, so actual primary cost, planned primary cost, secondary cost, there are total 8 indicators you can see. Okay, how these indicators are coming, let me show you the cost center category configuration. So if you go to SPRO, IMG, within controlling, cost center accounting, okay, again within cost center accounting, there is master data, within master data, there is cost centers, and then you have defined cost center categories. Okay, so this is where you will find all the categories, and this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 indicators. All right, these are the 8 indicators that we are talking about. So whenever you select the cost center category here, whenever you are creating a cost center, you are defining the category. Yes, as soon as you select the category, system will by default pick the values of these indicators. Okay, so for example, currently we selected W. That is the reason. If you go back here and see for W, you can see actual revenue is locked, planned revenue is locked, and commitments are locked. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 indicators which are allowed to be posted, and there are 3 indicators which are not allowed. Right? So same way, if you come here and see 1, 2, 3 indicators are locked, and there are 5 indicators which are allowed to be posted. Okay, so what does it mean? It means that this cost center I can only use for cost postings. If I try to use revenue GL account, and if I try to provide the cost center there, system will throw error. Okay, let's try it out. How exactly this will work.
Vikram, I have a question here. The other screen on which you show these 8 fields configured to the cost category.
Mm-hmm.
I see their functional area as well. The last
I'm coming to it, Sneha. So let's first up discuss about these 8 categories, and then I'll come to this last point.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah. Okay, so these are the 8 fields which are controlled from this cost center category. Okay, apart from these 8 fields, if you come to the basic data again, there is a functional area field. Okay, this functional area belongs to the old functionality of cost of sales accounting. Now with new GL accounting features and other features, normally there are very rare scenarios when companies are using cost of sales accounting in terms of functional area. But you can see, because it is deactivated by default, system is not allowing us to select the functional area here, right? But again, using the cost center category itself, if I provide my default functional area here, system will automatically pick it into this particular screen, provided if it is active. If the cost of sales accounting is active in this company code or in this controlling area, then I'll be able to select the functional area. Okay, so the job of cost center categories is to provide the default values. Okay, so whenever we are creating the cost center, we don't need to come here and tick it independently, whatever we want, whatever we don't want. It is coming by default based on this cost center category, right? But it is not necessary that whatever is provided I need to use that. If I want to lock or if I want to unlock, I can do it Even I don't need to change here from W to anything else. And that is the reason I told you, normally there is no requirement once the cost center is created to go and change the cost center category. Why? Because if you want to change anything, you can directly come here and you can change it instead of changing the cost center category. Right? Cost center category is just to provide the default values. Once the default values are available, then whatever you want to post, whatever you don't want to post, you can come here and you can change it according to your requirements.
So there is no restriction.
No, there is no restriction. It is just for the default values. It is just to provide the default values to the cost center. There is no other purpose of cost center category. Okay, later on I will show you. If I try to make any revenue postings to this cost center, system will throw error. It will clearly say that only cost postings are allowed to this cost centers, revenue postings are blocked. Okay, and if you want to allow, you have to come here and you have to unblock these two indicators. Then only system will allow you to post the revenues to this cost center. Okay, are you clear with cost center categories now? What are cost center categories? Why they are required?
Vikram, there's one question. What are the changes that has happened around the functional area?
No, functional area, see, even not now in S4HANA, even in SAP ECC, if you talk about the concept after the new GL accounting, the functional areas, see, functional areas were the independent components earlier. If you are using cost of sales accounting, then each and every transactions needs to have the functional area. Now with this new concept of new GL accounting, we have the option of creating whatever different this one characteristics that we want, right? So for example, SAP already provided the segment, business area, they provided the cost center, they provided the profit center. We also have the option to create our own if we want. Okay, and that is the reason normally this functional area concept is completely gone within new GL accounting itself.
No, what is the changes that has happened under the functional area? That's the specific question I'm asking, because there is some changes has happened. I'm expecting that answer. Do you think that there is any changes has happened there under the functional area?
You mean to say in S4HANA, or you mean to say?
No, in S4 and HANA.
In S4HANA, I don't think so. There is any change in the functional area.
No, there is a functional area group has added up. Are you aware about it?
Functional area group?
Yes.
No, I need to check that.
You can go check it up in the SPRO itself. There is a functional area group. I was expecting the answer where I could see in the master data. So kind of expecting that answer.
Okay, let's see. So are you, in your company, are you using these functional areas today?
Group, functional area group.
No.
Just go to that binocular and check it up. Go to the binocular functional area group.
Yes, just give me a minute. So it is normally created within the functional.
No, it's not
this
there.
This is where you create a functional area. Yeah, there is no group here.
It's not there. Just try to go to the binocular and check it up.
Okay. So you mean to say this is only provided in SAP S4HANA?
To the functional area group, if you just click that. Yeah. So what is that, and where will we do that? Where is that shown in the master data?
Now let me understand this functionality first. Maybe I'll come back to you on this, because functional areas normally we don't use. After new GL accounting concept, we never use the functional area concept anymore. But
right, for certain industries, right? For other industries we use. If it is for COPA, we definitely use. For non-COPA, we use it for if we wanted to slice the information, further information. Let's say, for example, if I wanted to have one expenses account, right? I wanted to slice it by HR, accounting, administration. So I can put the functional area, right? It doesn't harm. It doesn't give you any harm, right?
No, there is no harm, definitely. But
right.
Okay.
So that's why we use. Some industries are using it, and just as you say, if for that they have introduced this account changes in the functional area group. Like if you get an answer, definitely, because I was just searching where I would configure in KS01, but it didn't show up. And there is this piece was newly introduced in 1709 or 1809. I don't know. But I was expecting where I would be utilizing, because in the enterprise structure, it is not there, right? It is not there at all in the enterprise structure. It's something like it works like a business area or something like that, I guess. I'm not sure, but yeah, definitely if you could get that answer, that would be great.
Okay. Let me check and I'll come back to you on this. Okay. And then indicators. So this is controlled through cost center category. So the default indicators as well as this functional area will get defaulted from the cost center category configuration. Now, apart from the standard provided cost center categories, if you have a requirement that you want to add your category, that can also be done very easily from this configuration. Okay, so you can, sorry, I just need to come out of this. If it is already open here, no. So IMG controlling cost center accounting, master data, cost centers, and this is cost center categories. So I can just copy this and create my own, and I can perform whatever changes are required. Okay, but normally I don't see any requirement where you need to create a cost center category, but it should be only one digit. Okay, so this has to be only one digit. Okay, so this is about cost center category and second tab in the cost center. What about next one? So if you go to control, after control, let's go to the templates. So these are the templates for planning. Okay, we will talk about this later on. Actual statistical key figures, we have still not discussed what are activity types, what are the statistical key figures. This particular tab we will come later on when we understand what are activity types and statistical key figures. Okay, then you have address tab, same as profit center. So whenever you are creating a new cost center, you have an option where you can provide the details regarding the address and all information. You have communication tab where you can enter the telephone number and all the details, and then have the history tab, which tells you what has been changed when this cost center has been created. Okay, whatever fields have been changed. Okay, so once you are done with this, you can just save it. Yes.
Could you just give some insight on the commitment side under the control data? Commitment, where is it starting? Where is it ending? How it is being used?
Yes, this commitment is also one of the functionality which comes under the controlling. Okay, so commitments mainly are related to the, just give me a minute. So controlling area ABCS. Okay, so what we normally do is previously there used to be the commitment button here, commitment update button here. Okay, so this commitment button is if you are using this funds management module also, and if you want this particular cost center to be used in the fund center as a fund center, so there is commitment required. No,
that is different. Sorry, commitment is a separate tool itself in funds management, right?
Yes.
You tell about this cost center commitment. If you could help us out, I'm just looking for because I know the commitment comes from the purchase order, right? When I do the purchase order, when I do a commitment, that cost is coming here. That much, if you could help from that angle, right? Because funds management is different. It's a different ball game. You have an object separately for commitment area, fund area. All those things are different.
No, I'm coming to that point. So the thing is, commitments normally means, see, there are two types of commitments. I was just trying to explain you the difference because this is a confusing term.
Okay.
So commitment, what you are saying is also correct. What you are saying is, whenever we are creating a purchase requisition or the purchase order. So for example, let me take this example. So let's go to, indicators. So see, one is actual postings. What is actual postings? Whenever you are making the postings directly to FI, those are the actual postings. Apart from the actual postings, you can also do the commitments. Commitments means as soon as my purchase requisition is created, and if in my purchase requisition or in purchase order, if I already entered the cost center, then if I also want to see those reports that, okay, this cost center is not only used for the actual postings, but it is also used for the commitment postings. Like for example, it is still not posted in accounts. I have still not made that expense, but I already committed that this particular cost center is going to be debited by this much amount on this particular date. So from the purchasing point of view, it is commitment, right? From the sales point of view, it is predictive, which comes from the sales orders, right? So as soon as you create a sales order, if you want to see this revenue, although it is not, revenue is still not recognized as of now, but if I still want to see in my reports, then I need to click on the predictive. So that is not available here because normally we don't, for the revenue, we don't need to do the predictive accounting based on the cost centers. So that is commitment and the predictive accounting. Okay, even in SAP S4HANA, they came up with the new ledger concept also in the extension ledger, which is called as commitment and predictive. So not only here, if I want to show this information in the commitment management, then I need to create the extension ledger also. System will automatically flow that information to my universal journal table.
So this value, where it goes, is it going to AC.K or AC.P?
See, now onwards, everything will go to AC.A. AC.P is only for planning, and even planning only when you are using integrated business planning. Right, see, AC.P is a table which is for the planning of the accounting and controlling related information, but P is mainly for the plan data which is coming from the integrated business planning. Otherwise, if you are using, see, in S4HANA, you have both the options available. You can carry out your planning using the old technology, whatever we were using, KP06, KP26, or you can carry out your planning based on the new Fiori apps which are provided as a part of planning tool. So whatever you are using, accordingly the tables will be updated in the background. But when we are talking about this commitment updates, for commitment updates, it will go to AC.A as long as you have created the extension ledger.
Oh, what you're saying is it goes to the extension ledger, commitment updates?
No, not from here. If you want this information to flow in the document, whenever you are making any PO, let's say whenever you are creating a PO, and if you want that system should automatically capture that this particular cost center is going to be debited on this particular date, then it will go to AC.K as an extension ledger.
Okay, but in this case, now if I deactivate that and I leave it blank, then I'm expecting the values to be flown from the MM module, correct? Procure to pay. Now,
yes,
where is this going to get updated?
Yes, if I deactivate, it will not flow.
No, it is ticked means it is blocked, correct? Blocked for posting. Now, when I uncheck that, it is allowing me to post.
Yes,
correct?
Exactly.
Now
yes.
it will go to what, AC.A, or is it pulling and pushing it into my AC.P? When I get a variance report, I'm able to get the commitment variance as well, or how is that?
No, it will go to AC.A.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll show you when we do the transactions. I'll show you where exactly the tables are getting updated.
Okay. Vikram, I have a question here.
Yes, Neha.
Yeah, so when he said when we untake it, it means it's open to post, and when we take it, we are blocking it. Is that what I understood?
Yes, this is a lock indicator. So when we are saying lock,
yes,
then it is locked. It is not allowing. If I unlock, then it will allow you to post.
Okay, and the second question I have is, I'm not good in controlling, but I cannot understand where functional area comes here. Like, is function area on top of cost center, or it's on the same level of hierarchy?
No, functional area has a different concept. See, there are two concepts which works in any system. One is periodic concept. Second is cost of sales accounting concept. So there are very few rare companies who are actually in need of cost of sales accounting. So for that, SAP provided the functional areas earlier. But after that, when this new GL accounting came into the picture, SAP said, okay, functional areas you can still continue to use, but you can easily create this requirement using the new GL concept where you can create your own segments and characteristics. Okay, so functional area is an independent unit. If you want to create the reports based on the functional area, so it is not necessary that it has a one cost center can be assigned to one functional area. You can see here. So whenever I'll be posting any particular cost, it will go and flow into this functional area also. So what can happen is you have multiple cost centers. Let's say you have multiple cost centers for admin or HR department, and you have one single functional area which is keeping the track of each and every type of expense. So for example, multiple admin cost centers are posting to one admin functional area. That can be achieved from this particular functionality.
So it is right to say that functional area is on top of cost centers?
Yes, we can say, because multiple cost centers are posting to the same functional area.
Okay, thank you, Vijay.
Okay, so now let's go back, change this. Okay, and if you want to create more cost centers, maybe I'll just create as of now one, so I can also copy. So let's go to case 01, and instead of creating from scratch, I will just copy this to, instead of HR, this would be ADM. Okay, all other things will remain same. So common admin, here also you have common admin. This is fine. Department, I'll just change to admin here. This is again cost center category would remain same. Hierarchy area is also common. Okay, so all other things are common. It's even the business area. I can similar to the functional area, I can also assign the business area to the cost center. Okay, so let's say in addition to my products and locations, if I have any further criteria, okay, so let's take this example. In this particular case, luckily we have one plant which is providing desktop, another plant which is providing laptop, right? So we have 1:1 relationship, and that is the reason, looking at the profit center itself, we can clearly get the information that this profit belongs to this plant and this product. But let's say if I have separate, or if I have one plant which is into desktop manufacturing also, laptop manufacturing also, and if I want to have the reporting separately on the location, then I may need to create the business area also. So in this particular case, we have two locations, Mumbai and Bangalore. So what I can do is, in the business area, I can create two locations. Okay, and whenever I'm creating the cost center, I need to tell the system that whenever I'm making the posting to this particular cost center, this should go to this particular business area. Okay, so business area also can be defaulted. Now business areas are normally used at the plant level. So whatever number of plants you have, you can create the business areas. Okay, but it is not necessary. Again, it is an independent unit. So whatever, you can also create a business area for your products. Okay, but whatever structure you are creating, it should match your business requirements. So if you are creating product as a profit center, then you should create business area as a locations. Okay, so that if I look at the report cost center wise, business area wise, I should get the complete information.
Now business area is not mandatory.
It is not, even in ECC it was not mandatory. Business area was not mandatory in ECC also, but there are many companies who have these locations which are into manufacturing of multiple different products, so they are using business area for that purpose. But maybe if you have heard, because there are many places where you might have heard that business areas are not supported anymore and they are completely gone, that is wrong idea. Okay, that is not the correct thing. Business area is still available. Even with new GL accounting, business area has been improved, because previously, if you were using business area, I'm talking about not only S4HANA, I'm talking about new GL onwards. So around 10-15 years back, when SAP came up with this new GL accounting, whatever problems were there in the business area, there was a tax related problem. It was not able to segregate the tax line item. Even those problems are solved with new GL accounting. So business area can be used without any problem, and even in future business area would be supported. So don't go with those words where they say business areas are not strategically required and please don't create and all. SAP is still recommending, if you are using new GL accounting, then business areas are independent units which you can use without any problem.
Vikram, when you say this about business area, but we have segments, right, to have the geographical location wise reporting and even product wise reporting, then why would business need business area?
Right. So see, totally see, segment reporting was provided in SAP again in the new functionality of new GL accounting. Previous to New GL accounting, there was no segment reporting. But segment is not necessarily for the locations. Okay, there are some, I think in US itself, they have the requirement that whatever financial statements you are generating, segments normally are not for internal reporting. See, normally when we are talking about profit centers, when we are talking about business areas, these are normally for internal reporting. If I want to see which product has done good, which location has done good, these are for internal reporting. But when it comes to segment, the main idea of coming up with the segment reporting was because of the legal requirement. So there are some segment reporting mandatory according to IFRS, which needs to be done at the legal level. So not only location, segments can be anything. Okay, maybe if you are in US, maybe you can give the example of how exactly the segments are used in US. I think it is the product segment. It is not a location. It is a product segment. So if a company is into manufacturing of different products, they need to report into the separate products independently using the segment approach according to IFRS. Okay, so again, now I'm coming to the point from the technical point of view. Whatever I explained currently was segment. This is why SAP came up with segment reporting. But within SAP, it is completely up to us whether we want to use a business area or we want to use a segment or we want to use a profit center. So there is no hard and fast rule that location would be created as a business area only. Location you can create as a segment also. Even profit centers also you can create as the locations. Products you can create as a business area, products you can create as a segment. So there is no such restriction. It is completely up to you how you are fitting your business requirements using these different units which are provided by SAP.
I see. So Vikram, what is plus points to when we compare business area with profit center and the segments? I can understand like segment is for the legal requirement fulfillment, but if we have to compare if these three components are objects, what?
So normally I'll tell you how exactly companies are using these three components together. Business areas, most of the time, as I told you, most of the time, wherever you will see, they are mainly used for the locations. Okay, so whatever plants you have, whatever locations you have, they are using business areas. In many cases, you will find that companies are assigning the plants to the business areas. So whatever plants are created in MM module, they are assigning those MM plants to the business areas so that whenever a transaction takes place from MM or SD, automatically it should flow to that particular business area. Profit centers are the products. Okay, so let's say for example, currently in this example, we are creating the products as computers, laptops, and services, right? So these are normally created as the profit centers. Now again, above the profit centers comes segment, which means, let's say my company is into not only the selling of IT hardware and software, or maybe let's say my company is into the selling of hardware as well as software. So within hardware, I have laptop, I have computer, I have peripherals. So this I'll create as profit centers. Let me explain you in this WordPad. So what I'll do is, if let's assume, let me remove this first. Okay, let's assume that we have a requirement. We have 3 different locations or 3 different plants. Okay, Bangalore, Mumbai, and let's say New York. Okay, or maybe legal entity I'm keeping one, so let's keep it in India itself, so Pune. So let's say these are the 3 different plants that we have, right? So I'll create this as business areas. So whenever I want to see the reports based on plants, I will go to the business areas. Second is I want to see the product level information. So my products are, let's say, desktop, I have laptop, okay, I have peripherals. So what I'll do is I will create this as profit centers. Okay, not only peripherals, again within software I'm into SAP consulting, I'm into Oracle consulting, right? Let's take an example of HP. They are into hardware also, and they are providing the consulting services also. So in terms of hardware, they have desktop, laptop peripherals, and in terms of consulting, let's say they are providing the consulting in SAP and Oracle. Now, these are the profit centers. If I want to see the profitability of desktops, I can easily go and see in the desktop level. If I want to see the profitability of laptop, I can easily go and see at this level. But if I want to see the profitability of, let's say I want to divide this into hardware. Okay, so within hardware, I have desktop, I have laptop, and I have peripherals. Okay, and then I want to divide this into consulting. So I want to know how much profit I made from consulting and how much profit I made from hardware. So although these are my profit centers, I can create this hardware and consulting as a segment. And that is the reason whenever I'm creating this profit center, I have an option that I can assign this profit center to the segment. Okay, so if you see the profit center, if you see this profit center, you have the option of assigning it to the segment. So whatever profit center you are creating, whatever product you are creating, you can assign it to the segment.
So what does it mean? Is it not saying you that it is above the profit center, which is equivalent to business area?
No, it is definitely above the profit center. Segment is above the profit center.
Multiple profit segment is above the profit center group. Right. The business area, whatever you are showing, it can be achieved through profit center segment also, right? The business area criteria, the way you are presenting the structure here, I have a segment. Under the segment, I have a hardware. Under the segment, I have a consulting. 2 segments. Underneath that, I have a profit center, desktop, laptop, peripherals, SAP, or Oracle. Those are all, when I do that as a profit center, it is going against these respective segments, right?
Right.
Yeah. So business area, how is it different from segment? That is the question, right?
Yes, how it is connected, like how we will get data in business area.
No, there is no connection of, we cannot say there is a connection of profit center segment to business area. So let me tell you how exactly the transaction will work. See, whenever you are creating a sales order, now let's say you are creating a sales order. Now in this sales order, you are providing the plant, okay, and you are providing the product. Okay, so in the plant, you have assigned the business area. Right, in my example, what I told you is plant is my business area. So whenever I'm doing
what I'm saying is we can introduce, we can put the profit center, right? Instead of in that plant, when I create a plant, we can assign a profit center, right? I'm not even touching the business area. Is that necessary to touch the business area?
No, just 1 minute. Okay, can you come again?
No, let's assume that if I given a chance to just design a structure, hey, I have a business area, I have a segment. Which one do you choose? Which is easy for me? So you came up with an example by saying, I have a plant which is in 3 locations. I want a report, full balance sheet, profit and loss statement, cash flow statement against the plant. That means I am just making 3 kind of a business units. Right. So now when I do that business units, the question is, which one will you use? Whether you will use a segment or whether you will use a business area.
Right. So that is the reason.
What you're trying to say is, I will use a business area. Is that what you're saying?
Yes. In this example, I'm saying I'll use the business area because I can easily connect my plant to the business area.
I cannot connect to the profit center.
You can connect the plant to the profit center, but in our case, what is our profit center? It is a product. Okay, let's say.
No, what I'm saying is, when I go into the profit center, I have KE52, right, or KE53. When I go into my KE53, I have a segment component that derives, that tells me the last field, right? That tells
Yes.
me that I am able to slice the information into these 3 plants. If the plant is associated to Mumbai, the segment here in this case would be Mumbai. So when I go into my cost center, I will not put anything. It will be empty. Just don't even activate that field. Right? So it is achieving the same object is what I'm saying.
No, how it is
the purpose of business area versus segment, it gives the same kind of an impact, but SAP says it is a reconciliation issue or there in the business area. That is what I know. Again, through your experience, you can express if there is anything which can give a added value when I use a business area. But I don't feel business area is giving any added features versus the segment.
Definitely. Only with the new GL accounting, whatever problems were there in business areas, those are solved now. That is the only difference that you can see in business area. But otherwise, whatever earlier SAP was saying that there is a reconciliation issues and in the business areas because the document splitting was not working properly, that has been solved now. That is what I actually wanted to tell you. Okay, so in this particular case, let me just, whatever example that we have took, maybe let's try to complete that so that you understand how exactly the values will flow. So in my case, what we have done is we have created 3 plants, and these 3 plants we have assigned to the business area. Okay, and then we created the segments, and within segments we have different profit centers. So we are making the use of all 3 units: business area, profit centers, as well as segments. So now whenever you will try to create a sales order, whenever you are doing to billing, so your plant will decide which business area it should be posted to. Your product is nothing but a material master, and in the material master we have a field called profit center. Okay, so whenever you are selling a particular material, system will determine the profit center, and in the profit center master data we have the segment information. Okay, and that is the reason this is a recommended approach. Normally, although I'm not saying you cannot use segments for locations, but segments should be used for the products, because from the profit center you can easily get that information. It is automatically getting flown. Otherwise, what you need to do is, in other way, if you want to use segment for the plant, in that case you have to write a validation, or you have to write some like, it is not something which is provided by default in the system. You can assign based on whatever logic. It can be plant, it can be combination of your sales organization, distribution channel, and division, that which business area, or sorry, which segment you want to determine. Okay, so this is straightforward. That is the reason most of the companies use this. For locations they use the business areas, and for products they use profit center. For product groups they use segments. Okay, but again, as I told you, segment is mainly for the legal reporting. So in some of the countries it is like there is no option also. You have to use segment for what they are saying. So segment, if it is a profit center group, which means it is a product group, then you have to use segment for that purpose only. You cannot use it for the location purpose in that case. Okay, so this is a normal case. Business area is used for locations, segments are used for products. Clear on this now? In our case, we are not using segments. We can easily create a segment and we can assign, but like we can say in this particular example that laptops and all will come under hardware, and the consulting part will come under the consulting. So it will be automatically derived as soon as you do the transaction.
Yeah, it gets logged actually.
Sorry?
The segment get logged. Once you save it, it gets logged. It doesn't let you change other than using another transaction to unlock it.
Yes. No, I'm not trying to. I was just explaining that here, this is a place where you can enter the segment. So segments, if you want to create, they are created again in the financial data itself. So you can create, maybe I'll assign it. So enterprise structure, then you have definition, then you have financial accounting, and this is where you create a segment. So let's create a new segment. Let's say hardware. So HW.
No, what I said was it gets logged is what I said. When you say add up HW, it gets logged. You cannot change. When you go to KE52, it doesn't change. You can try.
Okay. No, at least we will create for others if that is the case. Next. So this is consulting. Okay, so what Stephen is saying, if I try to go to KE52 and try to change these, it is allowing. Because we are still not posted anything. Maybe after posting, it will not allow.
It will just try it now.
Yeah, so this is common. Again, we need to create one segment for common also in that case, because otherwise this profit center will post to where exactly. So let's create one more segment. I think I closed. Morning. Okay, so let's try to assign this CM to this one and activate. Yeah, as long as you're not posted, I think it will allow. Once you posted something,
go back again to go back to change again. Yeah,
yes.
See, it's got grayed out.
Yes, now it has got grayed out.
Yes, without even putting a transaction, it is grayed out. That's the way it happens. In order to, that is possible to update, to get into the change mode
Yes.
by using
If
another
it's not
transaction.
provided, then you can enter, but once it is provided, then it will getting locked.
So can we change it, Stephen? That's what you're trying to say?
No,
now you
I'm
can-
not telling anything. It changes. This is the way it happens, is what I said. Gaurav will tell everything. I'm just trying to, what of the past issue that I had, I'm just confirm.
Yeah, so Sneha, what we understood is once we provide the segment, then it is not possible to change it again.
I see. Okay, Vikram.
But this segment, this component will be activated, right? Then integration will happen, right?
In a segment, we don't need to activate components separately. Segment is just like a business area. We don't need to activate it. We activated cost center accounting, we activated profit center accounting. Okay, the question in the classroom is, do we need to activate the segment component also? The answer is no. It is not like profit center and cost center that before you use, you have to activate, you have to create the standard hierarchy. This is just like a business area. So it is not required to be activated separately. Just create the segments, whatever you need, and you can assign it to your profit centers. Okay, there was one question earlier from Deepa, I think. She was asking that once I create the cost center, okay, and if I want to add this cost center for, like, if I want to create it for 2018 also, so what it will do is it will allow you to create. Okay, you need to enter this valid from 1/1/2018. Okay, even, yeah, this is fine. We already locked it, so maybe I'll create ABC HR1 in the previous period. Okay, if you press enter, cost center already exists. Why it is saying this is because you are providing this as 31/12/9999. So what you can do is you can tell the system that I'm extending this cost center for another period. So I'm creating this for 1st of Jan 2018 to 31st of December 2018. If you just press enter, the system is allowing you to create it in the previous period also. So mistakenly, if you created a cost center and then you want to extend it to some other period, it will allow, but it will create two analysis periods. I'll show you what exactly I mean. So if I copy all this information and save it, there is something wrong. Hierarchy is at present blocked. Hierarchy is blocked. Let's go to the hierarchy. Okay, let me come out of all the screens. It is creating confusion. save now. Yes. So now if you go to this cost center under the display mode, okay, you will be able to see this in 2 analysis periods. These are called as analysis periods. Okay, so you can see from starting from 1/1/2018 to 31/12/2018 and starting from 1/1/2019 to 9999. Okay, so even I can have different values. Okay, so for example, if I want to tell the system that for this particular cost center in year 2018, the manager was Mr. X, and in 2019, starting from 2019, manager is Mr. Y. So this is called as validity. Based on the validity period, you can define the values. This is called as time-based master data. Okay, so in cost center, profit centers, there is a time-based concept. You can create the master data. Same cost center can be created multiple times on different time periods. Okay, so if you have values which are different, for even if you want to assign the separate profit center, only thing is your hierarchy is not time dependent field. So as soon as you change the hierarchy, whatever new reports, even for the previous periods, they will appear in the new reports only. Okay, so just remember this hierarchy area is not a time dependent field. All other fields, most of them are time dependent. So you can create same cost center into 2 analysis periods with different values, and system will give you the complete information of based on the analysis period what are the values in your cost center. Deepa, you got your answer?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. So what we have done, we created 2 cost centers. Now let's try to book a very simple posting into the cost center, which will definitely result in 2-3 errors which are related to the new functionalities in S4HANA. Okay, so now we have the cost centers, we have the profit centers. Yes.
Vikram, just that revenue posting that you had in the control data, right? Is that you might need that when you do any COPA? COPA
We
posting.
will see if you are, yes, if you are posting from cost center to COPA with the use of revenue element, then only it is required.
Okay, so is that we are going to come back to that topic again, or are we just not going to come back?
See, Stephen, as of now, we just created 2 cost centers. Anyways, whenever we will be going to COPA, we will need many more cost centers also, right?
Okay, got it. Go ahead. Thank you.
Okay, so if I want to make the normal posting, this is called as a primary posting now. What posting I'm trying to make? I'm trying to post to the cost center, okay, from FI. So I'm booking some cost in FI. At the same time, I want this value to flow to the controlling. Okay, so in that case, I will try to post a simple accounting transaction, which is FB50. I can go to accounting, financial accounting, general ledger, document entry, and
can you just go through the Fiori, because Fiori is not working? Can you just pass the entry via Fiori tiles? Is it possible, or am I asking too much?
No. Fiori, even I have not tried on this server. Let me check first.
Can you try that just for fun? You know, I have a struggle in getting into the system for Fiori. I wanted to see your performance, whether it is working or not.
For me, yesterday I tried to create the cost centers and all. It was working fine.
Okay, just try it. Just 1 minute, folks. There. Sorry if I'm asking too many questions.
No problem. So Fiori Launchpad. Are you using Google Chrome for it?
Sorry?
Are you using Google Chrome, or you are trying to?
Yeah, it doesn't take you through Google Chrome. It does take you with the other one, whatever I call it.
Yeah. What you can do is you can just copy this link and save under the favorites in the Google. You can create a desktop shortcut also for this link. That is better instead of using
okay.
Internet.
Can you put it in the chat box if you don't mind?
Yes. Just give me a minute. I think it is already copied with me. So Yes, it is in the chat box now.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so based on what roles I have, I'm able to see this. Yesterday, I assigned myself the roles related to the master data of. So I tried this one yesterday. Let's see if it is working. Yes, it is working. So which one you are trying and not working? Maybe you can just send me the screenshot and I will verify with the
Now
vendor.
the Fiori is working at all. It is just spinning, spinning, and spinning. Maybe I will try this after the class. The link that is
Just send me the screenshot. If anything like that, just send me the screenshot.
Yeah. Which one did you use in the? If you go back again to the sky, just flip over to the other screen, the GUI screen. Which URL you picked it up?
I used this one, UI2/FLP/UI2.
I tried that. Yeah, I tried that. It did not. It was spinning all the way, but it's fine. Go ahead and what you're doing.
Yes. Okay. Okay, and then yeah, let's try to post the transaction now. So in order to post the transaction, we will go to financial accounting, general ledger accounting, document entry, and there is a FB50 screen. Just double click on this. So I need to change the company code first of all to our company code, which is ABCS. Okay, and let me enter the document date, that is today's date. Let's put some test. GL accounts. I think we created some GL accounts last time. Yes. So let's say I am using one travel expense GL account, which is also available as a cost element. I want to debit this. And then there is another GL account, which is bank GL account. I created this one. Okay, and I want to credit this. Let's take some small amount, which is, let's say 1,000. Okay, and then for bank accounts, normally value date is important, but it is up to you whether you want to keep it optional or manual or required. And then in the cost center, this is an important field. If I want to send this information to CEO, I definitely need to enter the cost center here. Okay, so whatever expense I am booking, I need to tell the system that this expense should go to this particular cost center. So let's say I am booking this to admin. I think admin is still not created, so we can book it just to HR. Okay, see now, if it is showing me two different validity periods. Okay, but since the name is same, it will not make any difference. So I can just click on this, press enter to see if there are any further things which are required. Yes, there is some configuration missing. We have not entered the tolerance. This is the GL tolerance. Okay, so this normally it comes under FI, but let's see this because otherwise you'll not be able to process the transaction. So you will go to financial accounting. Okay, and financial accounting global settings. Under this you have document. Within document you have the tolerance groups, and this is where you have to create a tolerance for your company code. So what you can do is simply copy 0001 and provide your company code. Don't provide any group here, just the company code. So your company code is ABCS and click on save. Okay, this is mandatory, otherwise system will not allow you to post any transaction. So once again, if I just come up to the screen, an entry is required in the text field. Let's enter that. Oh, someone has made even business area as mandatory field. Okay, no problem. I can provide as of now, although we are not using it. Enter. Okay, so now at least the mandatory part is done. Let's try to save this document now. Okay, so you may find this error. This is again the common error that you will find in ECC also. This is related to item category. What do you mean by item category? So if you are using document splitting functionality, you need to categorize each and every GL account. Anyone who is not aware of this functionality, document splitting? Okay, there are two options. If you just want to concentrate on CO without worrying about the document splitting usual functionalities, then you can just go and deactivate your company code for document splitting. But in my case, I'll just enter this information so that you also understand what exactly happens in the document splitting. So each and every GL account in your chart of accounts, so in my case it is ABCS, I need to specify here from, so let's say from 1000 to 2999. These are all my balance sheet accounts. So category, and I will select balance sheet accounts. Starting with 3000 to 3999 are my revenue accounts. So I'll select those revenue accounts. And starting from 4000 to 4999 are my expense accounts. Okay, even I can enter 9000 to 9999, which are my secondary GL accounts, but you will not be able to see the secondary thing here. Let's go with the balance sheet itself. Okay, and save. Okay, so now at least we will get rid of that particular error. Let's try to save it again. You need to come out. So FP50, GL accounts, this and this. This would get debited, this would get credited. Okay, and then you have the value date here. Text is mandatory, so let's enter the text. Then business area was mandatory, let's enter the business area, and finally the cost center. Okay, let's try to save it now. Now it is saying account determination for account. This is again relevant to document splitting functionality, zero balancing. This 000 is nothing but zero balancing. Okay, so what I need to do is, again, I need to go to the zero balancing clearing account. First thing I need to do is I need to create a new GL account for zero balancing. So FS00. For zero balancing, I will create something with 2001 ABCS. So balance sheet. It can be anything. It can be assets or liability. Let's keep it as asset. And this is zero balance. Anyways, the balance in this GL account is going to be zero. That is the reason it is called as zero balancing account. G001. Okay, and I need to assign this to the configuration of zero balancing. So SPRO, IMG, financial accounting, general ledger, business transactions, document splitting. Within document splitting, there is a configuration for define zero balance clearing account. Okay, so this is 000 accounts for our chart of account, which is ABCS. I need to assign the GL account 2001. Okay, so we should get rid of that error also now. So whenever a document splitting error comes, you need to completely come out, otherwise it will not take automatically. So this is credit, this amount, value date, and cost center. Okay, let's try to save this time. Now we are getting another error. Now this is the error that you will only get in S4HANA. This error you will not get in ECC. Okay. Any idea? Those who have attended my financial sessions must be knowing this. Or those who already worked on S4HANA. Can you tell me what is this error? This error is related to
planning.
No, not planning. Sending the actual values from FI to CO. So it is part of financial accounting. Within financial accounting global settings, ledgers, integration of CO with FI. Let me explain what exactly is this. See, whenever you are trying to post the values from FI to CO, what you are trying to do here is you are posting a transaction in FI, and from FI this transaction is going to CO, right? So in FI, I can have multiple accounting principles. I can have different ledgers. Let's say I have 0L for GAAP and I have IFRS for IFRS reporting. Now the question is, which ledger will send the values to CO? If I send from
OL.
both the ledgers, sorry?
OL.
Okay, why OL?
That's the main ledger.
Yeah, that's the main ledger. What was happening in SAP ECC was only ledger 0L was sending the values to CO. It was not possible to send the values to controlling from any other ledger. Okay, it was by default, and it was even there was no configuration to tell the system that I want to send the values from 0L to controlling. Okay, but in S4HANA, SAP has provided the flexibility that you can create multiple CO versions. You know the versions, right? Normally we create version 0, which is normally taking the actual values. But if you want to create additional versions, okay, and if you want to pass the values from IFRS also to controlling, that can also be done. Okay, but at least one entry is required, which is values from 0L must go to controlling. Okay, so this is where you have to define ledgers for CO version. Okay, what you need to do is you need to tell the system that version 0 of controlling will take the values from ledger 0L. Okay, so I can click on new entry. My controlling area is ABCS. I want to tell the system that CO version 0 will take the values from leading ledger 0L in my company code. Okay, just click on save. And now system knows that how the values from FI to CO will flow. This is a mandatory configuration again. Okay, so now again, if I go to this transaction, let's try to save. It is still giving the same error, so I need to again come out. I could have saved this as a template rather than doing this again and again. So debit, credit, amount, value date, cost center. I don't need to provide here. I need to provide here, and text. Okay, let's try to save. So finally, we are able to post the accounting document.
So like we just see that CO version.
Go to the display document. I wanted to see the profit center if it is picked up for both the line items.
Yes, Stephen, just give me a minute. Yes, sorry.
So that CO version which we just assign it,
Right.
it's a mandatory.
It is mandatory, yes. See, in ECC, what was happening is by default, ledger 0L was assigned to version 0. Okay, there was no setting, it was by default. But in S4HANA, SAP has provided a flexibility that which ledgers, how you want to post into CO, in which version. Okay, so normally mandatory thing is 0L to 0.
Okay. And what about the tables? Actually, we have like I think there is a table.
Yeah, we are coming to that now. So let's talk about the display. Let's see how this accounting document is posted. So you can see we have provided this cost center. Okay, when we posted the transaction, we have provided this cost center, and this cost element was created. This GL account was created as a cost element, primary cost element, right? And that is the reason this has a power. This GL account has a power to take the values from FI to CA. If I use any other GL account which is not created as a cost element, so for example, if I use non-operating GL account here, then definitely this will not flow into CO. See, what has happened currently is this GL account has taken the values into the cost center, and it is posting not only the cost center. In my cost center master data, we have profit center, and in my profit center master data, I have segment. Right. So this cost center I provided when I done the transaction. But if you see the cost center master data, if you just go to transaction KS03. Okay, so here whatever I take, it is same. So you can see we have provided the profit center, which is common. Okay, and within the profit center, if I go to KE53, within the profit center common, we provided that this belongs to segment CM. And that is the reason, if you see this accounting document, system is able to pick the profit center based on the cost center, and segment based on the profit center. Right? So now, what was happening in SAP ECC, this was creating two accounting documents, not two accounting documents, two documents. One is FI document, second is CO document. Okay, if you do the same transaction in SAP ECC, system will generate two different documents, one for accounting, this is accounting document, but it was also generating the second document, which was for CO. But if I show you now in S4HANA, if you go to environment, document.
Just speak
Yes.
about the credit entry. It is not tallying, right? The profit center is not matching.
No, but have we made the balance zero? We have not done the zero balancing. If you go to the general ledger view, it will show you. This is what you want to see. Profit center is matching. Steven, are you talking about this?
Yes, I'm talking about that. What is those other two zeros which is coming up to another two line item?
Okay, you don't know
I'm
the
expecting in the second line item under the Citibank, I should be seeing the profit center.
Okay, so do you know the concept of zero balance, or you want me to explain?
No. Yeah, if you want to explain, yeah, definitely. I'm expecting because the line items are not tallying. If it is profit center, when I take the profit center report, it should show me when I take a balance sheet account under 2000, I should be seeing the 4000 account as an expenses account, correct?
Right.
That's the way I should be seeing, correct?
Yes, let me explain. So, see, first of all, if you see this, whenever we go for document display, okay, the first thing system will show you, this is called as a document in the entry view. This is a data entry view. This is how we entered the document. When we entered the document, we only provided two lines, right? We only provided these two lines, and that is the reason system is showing us only two lines. We provided the cost center, system picked the profit center. We provided the segment in the profit center, so system picked the segment also. Okay, but now, okay, first thing, let me tell you what about the accounting documents. How many documents are created? So this is accounting document. If you go to ECC, if I go to environment, document environment, accounting documents, here you will be able to see two different documents. See, it is still showing accounting and controlling. But the difference is, if you look at the controlling document, this is not a real document. This is a statistical document, just from the technical point of view.
So there is no number range.
There is no, we can maintain the number range, K and K is still there, but it is not picking the number from there. It will only pick the number from K and K for the planned or secondary postings, which are triggering from CO directly. If a posting is getting generated from FI, okay, to CO, there is no need of separate document for CO. That is the reason you must have heard something called as Universal Journal Document Number. What do you mean by Universal Journal Document Number? In ECC, there was a separate accounting document and there was a separate controlling document. Okay, now this number is called as a Universal Journal Document Number because there is no separate document created for controlling. This is just for the reference in the background, but otherwise it is not picking from any number range. Right? So what was happening? Second thing, coming to the table. So there was a separate table for accounting and there was a separate table for controlling. Okay, so for accounting, we know BKPF and BSEC. For controlling, it was COSS, COEP. There were multiple tables which are used in the background. Now, there is only one table which is going to hold accounting as well as controlling information. Okay, and that is obviously, you know, AC.K. That is the reason AC.K is called as a universal journal table. Why? Because it is not only holding the FI data, it is holding FI data as well as CO data. Okay, so if I show you the AC.K table, if you go to AC16N and if I go to table AC.A, in AC.A, if I show you for company code ABCS and execute it, so you will be able to see many fields, okay, which are part of various different subcomponents within FICO. Not only general ledger accounting and CO, but you will be able to see in AC.A fields related to material ledger, fields related to account-based COPA, and fields related to asset accounting also. Okay, but in this particular transaction, we posted FI plus basic CO document. So you can see here,
So COEP only view.
COEP, see, COEP is still there, but it is for, because COEP is not only for the actual items, it holds a lot of other things also, secondary postings also. So only primary postings will not be updated in COEP. We'll come to that. First of all, let's try to understand AC Doc A. Now, if you see this AC Doc A table, you can see from the FI point of view, it is showing you the GL accounts. From the controlling point of view, it is also showing cost center, profit center, business area, segment. Okay, all these things are appearing in one single table itself. In ECC, if I want to gather this information, I need to connect two different tables, one for FI, second for CO, and then only I can get the complete information. Okay, so this AC Doc A is called as a universal journal table. The reason is it is storing the FI, CO, and some other components data at one single place. Okay, and that is the reason you can see this accounting controlling document, what is generated, it is completely statistical. This is a document number which is generated. This is completely statistical. There is no separate document created for controlling.
And document type by default, let's see.
No. Document type is SA. We have used the document type SA.
So for
CO will come only when you are making the secondary posting. Okay, so SAP has provided the new document type. See, currently whatever transaction we have done, when we posted this document, what was the document type? It was SA, right? By default, it is SA.
For CO?
Same thing I'm saying. We have don't get confused with CO document. CO document is not created separately here. Only universal document is created, and universal document is triggered from SA. So this universal document number is this one, which is of document type SA. SAP provided a new document type for controlling related documents, but that is only for secondary postings, when the document itself is getting triggered from CO. In this particular case, document is triggered from FI, right? And that is the reason it has taken the document type SA. Document type CO will only come into picture when you are making the secondary postings, whenever you are doing any secondary posting. Okay, clear on this now? What is universal document number and what is universal journal table? Now, apart from this, if you have activated the new GL accounting, now obviously in S4HANA, there is no other option. Every customer has to activate new GL accounting. That is by default. Okay, then you will be able to see this general ledger view. So in general ledger view, you will be able to see, maybe you will be able to see more lines. I'll tell you why this zero balance came here. And you will be able to see the profit center segment appearing in other lines also. Because when we posted the document, we only provided the, when we posted the document, we only provided the cost center in the first line. We have not provided the cost center in the second line, right? But here, system is, if you go to the general ledger view, although it is not showing here, but it is possible that we can derive the cost center, profit center, and segment for the Citibank also. Okay, this is only possible if you are using document splitting. If you want to derive these functionalities, if you want to derive the cost center, profit center, segment in the Citibank, then you have to activate the document splitting functionality. And within document splitting functionality also, you have to make a lot of settings. You have to clearly tell the system what exactly you want to see in your document splitting functionality. So now coming to the question which Stephen asked, he is asking why I'm not able to see the cost center, profit center, and segment here.
No, just the profit center. The cost center will not come for the balance sheet. That is understood.
Yes, it is balance sheet, so cost center will not come, but profit center and segment, why it is not appearing? The reason is, first of all, we need to check whether the document splitting is on for this company code or not. Okay, so if I go to SPR,
there is no splitting there. There is no document split there. You have not even.
Sorry,
Vikram. We have not done any document. So I did not split the document. I did not split the debit entry there to get the document split.
Inheritance within the document splitting, there is something called as inheritance.
Okay. Okay. Let's see.
So that inheritance needs to be active now. So if I go to financial accounting, general ledger accounting, business transactions, okay, within document splitting, If I click on activate document splitting, see there is inheritance in place, document splitting is active, and obviously it is active in our company code. So this configuration looks fine. Now what we want is, what is our expectation is in this particular case, that whatever profit center has been entered in this first line should get defaulted automatically in profit center, in second line, right? In the Citibank line.
Or it should derive automatically. So how is that going to automatically derive, as well as another derivation? What you're saying?
Right. So it would be derived based on the configuration. Let me show you what is that configuration.
Okay.
So that is the reason we divided these two accounts into different categories. Okay, item categories. So if I go to the configuration of document splitting, let's go back. So first of all, we divided, see what we said, account starting from 1000 to 2999, which means our bank accounts falls in balance sheet category, right? So we want to get the value in the balance sheet category. So if you go here in classify document types, document type is not a problem. Let's first see what are the categories. So profit center is active. You can see zero balance is active, and you can see mandatory field is not ticked here. If I say mandatory field, then if the system is not able to determine the profit center and segment for this particular line, then it will throw error. So what is happening currently, although system is not able to determine the profit center and segment, but still from this configuration we told, okay, it is not mandatory, no need to worry, even zero is blank is fine. That is the reason it has taken. So first check is this: if you want mandatory that my second line should always pick the data of profit center and segment, then you have to activate this mandatory fields. Okay, but even if you are not activated, how to derive? So then we need to go for this extended document splitting configuration. Okay, so in this one, I'll just show you where exactly you can maintain those. We are using document splitting method 12, right? These are the different methods, and we have seen that our document splitting activated, which I can see here, we are using method 12. So whatever configurations we need to see for 12. So I will go to define document splitting rule. Okay, and out of this we will go to 12, method number 12. Now within method number 12 there are multiple lines, 1 2 3 4 5 6, or many of them. So I need to identify what transaction I have done. Okay, what transaction I have done? I have done the transaction FB50. I think it will fall under unspecific posting. Let's see, how can I check that? So let's try to make another posting. I will go for FB50 once again. Okay, document date, this one, or maybe I can show you from the configuration itself first. So let me show you here. From the configuration itself, I can assign the document type to the document splitting functionality. So we use document type SA. Document type SA is assigned to transaction 0310 and variant 1. Okay, these are all important things. 310 and 1. So if I go to this splitting rule, okay, in our case we are using method number 12, and then 310 and 1, right? This is our related line for our transaction. Are you getting, Steven?
Yes, I'm getting. Go ahead, continue what you're supposed to.
Yes, so based on this transaction, here I need to define which items will be splitted. Okay, so I told the balance sheet item to be splitted. Okay, so I want to make sure that my Citibank account is getting the values from other lines. Now based on what it will pick the value. So if I go to the base item categories, here it is showing me expense, and I think I assigned this 4,000 the expense itself. So item category is expense. Business transaction, is it correct? Business transaction was 310, right?
It looks like there is no line for bank account.
No, but we categorize it into the
No,
this
your
account.
category seems to be okay. I don't see any problem there.
Mm-hmm.
Only thing is, it looks like what you're trying to say is the bank account has to be specified. Is that what you're saying?
Yes. See, what happens is, if I go to 12 for 310, item categories to be edited. Yes, maybe what happens is normally system also has a capacity that for some of the bank accounts, it will automatically determine the category as bank. So maybe we need to create a bank category here, which will pick the values from the item category expense. Okay, let's try that.
Yeah.
Let's try that. So I think it's already open in my case. Is this the one? No. Yeah, so 12310 item categories to be edited. I will add one more line for bank account here. So for bank accounts, it is cash account. I need to use this.
The first line.
Is it not already there?
No, it's already there.
No. The first one, balance sheet account.
No, balance sheet is already there. Let's
Even
go back.
cash is there.
Balance sheet and cash both are here already. So it should actually derive. Assign document splitting method. This is not required. Yeah, it should actually take automatically. Okay, what we can do is we can analyze the issue also. What is happening wrong? So let's provide the GL account, which is 4,000. This would be debited, this would be credited. Just give me a minute.
In the document split, you said that that two line has to be checked up, correct, Vikram? That can you do that and then come back and do this posting?
Sorry, what exactly?
In the document split, you said that document has to be, in the document split. Just go back to that. The two checkbox was there that you did not do.
Mandatory. You're talking about the mandatory tick?
Yeah. The I think the two checkbox were there. You remember?
Yeah.
I think that is a category under. Okay, there. Yeah.
So in this case, system will not allow us to post itself if it is not able to determine the.
So what that does is it is asking for a mandatory update. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly. So if I don't provide the profit center and segment, system will not allow me to go forward.
So that is not the that doesn't serve the purpose then. Yeah.
Exactly. You want to determine first. So if the system is able to determine, then it should. If it is not able to determine, then only this tick should work. Okay, but let's see.
Correct. Then deactivate. Yeah. Shouldn't be deactivated. You should be deactivating that then.
Yes, I'll do that. Just give me a minute. Let me just try this out. So why it is not getting determined? So my cost center is this, and then my business area is this. Okay, now it is going to compiling because we made some changes in the document splitting. Okay, so I'll go to simulate. Okay, and then I will, I need to simulate general ledger, not the normal simulation. So document, simulate general ledger. Okay, there is something called as expert mode here. If you click on expert mode, it will tell you what is happening in the background when the document splitting is being used. So you can see here, splitting across the base rows. So item category is 1.
That is not the thing. No. Go to that transaction FS00 and go to the field status variant.
So see, now we are getting this error because we made it mandatory. Balancing field profit center is not filled.
Right? Oh, it is throwing out an error. Okay. Okay, that means it is looking for the profit center.
this is where we can check what is happening in the background. So business transaction is 310, so we are correct. Business transaction variant is 0001, which is also we are correct. Then this is our baseline. Okay, this is our baseline, which is having the item category as 20,000, and we want to get the values for profit center and segment based on this particular item category.
To change this item
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this is what we need to get. Let's go to the configuration
No,
once
it
again.
will not post you this transaction because it is you didn't update the profit center.
Yes, it will not allow me to post.
Correct.
See, normally when you activate this inheritance, systems tries to pick the data from the other values.
No, this is not got nothing to do with that. Posting is either it can be substituted where you like OKB9 where you do this for balance sheet. That is that would help you, or
no,
sorry,
that is constant. Instead of OKB9 for document splitting, we can enter the constant.
but it
we
is
don't
not
want constant. We don't want the constant value, right?
It's
We
not
want the
right.
Yes, we want to pick the values. We don't want the constant value. We want to pick the value from the first line.
But Vikram, here document splitting is not happening at all, right?
It is happening.
We are not splitting expense,
That
right?
is a partner value, Vikram. You're okay. That is a partner value which has been updating the profit center. The value to the credit line item is not updating. I should tell the system that pick up this balance sheet item, pick up this profit center for the balance sheet item, right?
Right.
That where have you updated?
Okay, just give me a minute. Extended rule. No, let me check this. Something is I need to verify what exactly is going wrong.
So did we assign it here for documents?
We don't have that is assigned. No? Yes. We assign the complete number in the year. It's there now. This GL account 4,000. It is defined as expense. Okay, so maybe I'll try this in the background and I will let you know in the next class. There are some students waiting for the next batch now.
Okay, Vikram. This one as well as the functional area group.
Yes. I'll confirm.
Get that. Two questions.
Yes.
Right?
Okay.
Thank you, Vikram.
Thank you. Yeah. Bye.
Thank you.
Vikram, Satish here. Sorry, I joined a little late, and last week and this week also, you will be sharing the videos, Vikram.
Yes. I'll be doing that today. All other videos you received already, right? Previous ones?
Only two videos I received.
No. You should have seen. You'll be able to see 4. Can you just check now in the Google Drive? See, normally you will not get mail every time. Maybe just check the Google Drive on Tuesday. Every Tuesday, you will be able to see the latest videos. I'll try to send you the mail also, but sometimes if I miss, just go to the Google Drive and you should be able to see.
I have received last session's video, so I think Satish.
All 4 you received, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Vikram sir, I have a doubt.
Yes.
Can you please explain about AC doc P? What is that? Can you please say?
We will discuss that. Anyways, we have still not talked anything about planning, Bala. So when we come to that topic, we will discuss that.
Okay.
Yes. Okay then. Thank you all. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you.